First love for the rich and one for the poor, and there's another one for singers. It's die young and live much longer and spend your money and sit and wonder.
Well, hello, my lovelies, my sugars, my moons, my sugar pies, my sugar lilies, my honey lilies, my dudes, my lads, my lords. Well, here we are again in the garden, love. In the garden. All right, let's go. One thing I want to show you real quick first before I get into it is this. So, there we are. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., we should know what is going on. So, yes, that is happening. Of course, you all know that already, but I just wanted to show it to you in case anybody, I don't know, didn't remember. But there it is. Yep. All right. Now listen, this video, if I can get my lighting correct, which I never seem to can, whatever. This video is about, it's going out to the defense. It's going to Bryan. Look, and I know you guys aren't gonna see this, but listen, unless, and I'm qualifying already, but unless the state has some big piece of evidence that we don't know about, that again, the defense and Taylor and the rest of them feel that they cannot get around, then that's the only way I would see taking a plea here. That's the only way I would see taking a plea. However, in the absence of that, I humbly encourage, even though I know this isn't going to be seen by people who I want it to be seen by, do not take a plea. 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 Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So you have until tomorrow, defense and Bryan, to decide if you want to go forward and tell the judge that you're pleading guilty here. Don't do it. The state, again, without any other knowledge, the state's case is weak, very weak. Any witness is going to be destroyed on the stand, including Dylan, Bethany, and Molly Hatchet. These three are going to be destroyed on the stand, okay, easily. Just look at their testimony. Look at all the doublespeak, and look at all the contradictions and the lies and the bullshit. These three are going to be annihilated on the stand. So I don't know what are we worrying about there? You know, I don't know. Cy Ray will help. Cy Ray will testify that Bryan's car was not heading in the direction of Moscow that night. He's going to testify to that. We already know his credentials, right? He's going to speak to that. No, that wasn't his car. He was going the opposite direction. You can't, again, there's no, as far as we know, there's no videos of Bryan in the car itself. There's no video of him getting out of the car. There's no video of him entering the house. There's no video of him exiting the house or re-entering his car and driving off. There's no evidence that shows that is Bryan. None. As far as we know. Right? So that's out. The DNA is a little trickier. However, you can get around this because you can add other pieces to it. You could say things, you could have the defense argue that, first of all, this is transfer DNA, not touch. Not touch. It was transfer. All the Amazon shopping can be explained. This was done months ago before he even moved to Washington. You can get all that. You can get that. DNA's transfer. There are also other sources of DNA found at the crime scene that do not match my client. That's another way around that. So you have to add layers onto the DNA, because this by itself is strong on the surface, but you have to layer it to make this not make it inconsequential then. And I think the defense can do that. So I don't understand. So please don't take a plea deal. I hope, Ann, I don't know if you're spearheading this and squawking in Bryan's ear or what you're doing, but it's a bad deal. Don't do it. Take your chances at trial. Okay? Take your chances with 12 people. You got 12 people. Okay? 12 people. You got better odds. All it takes is one. That's all it takes. All it takes is one out of 12. Remember? Showed you. 12 angry men. Remember? 12 angry men. All it takes is one to start flipping things around. Okay. You got to roll the dice here. You got to roll the dice. There's no logical reason why you would be taking a plea at this stage of the game. There's no reason for it. Unless, and this is a big unless, once again, the state has some big piece of evidence that nobody knows about, locked away, hidden away, that is ironclad proof that, in fact, Bryan was the perpetrator by himself, and that's it. That's the only way I see taking a plea deal. Again, the story that we've been told thus far in the documents, the PCA, all the documents, the orders, it's impossible for one person to pull this crime off. It's just illogical. It's impossible, especially when you include things like a cleanup and so on and so forth. We've been through that. So, yeah, don't take the deal. Remember, it's called Let's Make a Deal. Remember, that's what this shit is called. It's called Let's Make a Deal. Justice for all. That's exactly what this is. It's probably so the state doesn't have to listen to certain things they don't want known. They certainly don't want Dylan and Bethany back there testifying, because they open their fucking mouth and right away they're lying. So you don't want them on the stand at all. Anything to do to protect those two fucking perps. Those two, the Prime and the Hobbit. Yeah. So listen, Bryan Kohberger and Ann Taylor, if you're listening to this, if you happen to see this before tomorrow at 11 a.m., I seriously hope you reconsider what you're doing here. It's a bad mistake. The death penalty is irrelevant at this point, because again, you don't know if the jury, he has to be found guilty, and B, the jury has to find him enough to where the death penalty is warranted. Those are two big ifs. Two big ifs. So anyway, I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's what I still, unless there's a big piece of evidence we don't know about. Also, what else? I forgot what I was going to fucking say. Of course. But you're not making this type of deal at this late stage of the game. Unless now the straight line would be, here's a straight line without getting into the mud, okay? The straight line is that the prosecution has a big piece of evidence nobody knows about, and it's impossible to get around. That's the straight line. The mud is that there's pressure being put on Bryan and or his family and or other people involved in this to some degree that we don't know about, forcing this type of conclusion. Because again, what has been released thus far in the court records, it's impossible for one person to have committed this crime by him or herself. Impossible. It's impossible. So, there you go. So, Bryan, Ann, if you're listening, or anybody else on the defense, don't do this deal. Don't do it. it's a bad move. I don't care what pressure you're getting. You got to stay strong, and you got to fight this thing until the very end. 2.5 years in, you can't stop now. You have to see it to the end. If you want to take a fucking deal, you should have done it fucking the first year of this trial, the first year of this case. You should have made a deal. But you didn't. So there's it's not logical. You know? Ann Taylor's up there saying, I believe my client's 100% innocent, right? Pursue Bryan Kohberger at your own peril. Those are bold words to be putting in your responses to things in the court record. So where's that? Where's that fire and brimstone, right? Where's that energy? Hey, you're going to pursue my client at your own fucking risk. And guess what? You're going to pay the price if you do. That's the kind of attitude we need. Not this, why are you kowtowing down to something here? Doesn't make any sense. So, hey, tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 is not here yet. There's plenty of time. But listen, don't make this deal. Don't make the deal. Anyway, I love you all, my God, and I hope, well, you guys are with me on that. We cannot make this fucking deal. You cannot make the deal. Tomorrow what has to happen is Bryan has to get into court, and he has to say either, let's say he's already agreed to it, but he has to go in there and say, no, you know what, I changed my mind here. No, I'm not taking the deal. That's it, period. Done. We proceed as planned, and that's the end of this story. And then we go to trial, and then we see what happens. Okay? I think the state's case is extremely weak. I think they have virtually really nothing to really stick on him again, and I'm going to leave it here unless we find out, and I don't know if we ever will. They got some crucial evidence that that maybe the defense wasn't aware of beforehand. Maybe Bryan didn't disclose this. Who knows if he is the wolf? And it just came to light recently, and the defense is like, you know what, Bryan? There's no way of getting around this. So that's the only way. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Hey, quick and easy, but hey, where's that attitude? Hey, no, we're going to go in there tomorrow, and we're going to be like, you know what? No, I changed my mind. We're sticking to not guilty, and we'll see you at trial, fuckers. All right, bye-bye.